You know that feeling, right? You're on a super important video call and boom, everything just freezes. Why? Because someone else in the house just started downloading a massive game. It's so frustrating, but there's actually a technology that can fix it. It's called quality of service, and to understand it, we're going to start with a pretty weird question. So let me ask you this. Can an ambulance get stuck in an internet traffic jam? Now, I know it sounds a little strange, but the answer is kind of yes. And figuring out why is the key to finally getting control over your own home network. To get there, we need to stop thinking about the internet as some kind of magical, invisible cloud. Instead, I want you to picture it as something way more down to earth, a really, really busy highway. Okay, so picture this, a highway, but it's only got one lane, just one. And in that lane, you've got an ambulance with its lights flashing, trying to get to the hospital. But it's stuck behind a school bus, which is stuck behind a huge, slow cargo truck, which is stuck behind someone just casually riding a bicycle. It's absolute chaos, right? The most important vehicle on the road can't get where it needs to go. And here's the punchline. By default, your home network works exactly like that chaotic single-lane highway. It's what we call a best effort system. That just means it treats every single bit of data the same. Your urgent work call gets the exact same priority as that massive game update someone is downloading in the other room. No wonder things get stuck. So, how do you fix a traffic jam like that? Well, on a real highway, it's simple. You build a priority lane, an express lane, and it turns out the internet has the exact same solution up its sleeve. This really breaks it down. On the left, you've got that standard best effort network. It's one lane, one long line, and the ambulance can definitely get stuck. But on the right, with quality of service, or QoS, you create that special priority lane. Important traffic gets identified and waved right on through. The ambulance? It always makes it to the hospital. And that's really all QoS is. It's just a set of tools that lets a network be smart about how it handles traffic. Instead of just treating everything the same, it figures out what's actually important and makes sure those critical apps get the speed and stability they need even when things get busy. Okay, but that leads to a pretty big question, right? How does a network actually know what's important? What makes a video call more critical than, say, an email? Well, it all comes down to how sensitive that data is. See, not all data is created equal. Some applications just can't handle disruptions. For online gaming or a voice call, latency, that's the time it takes data to get from A to B, is everything. Even a tiny delay causes that awful lag. For streaming video, the enemy is something called jitter, which is just an inconsistent delay. That's what gives you that choppy, stuttering picture that drives us all crazy. Different apps just have different needs. And this chart shows you exactly how that plays out. Things like voice calls and online games, super sensitive to both latency and jitter. Streaming a 4K movie needs a ton of steady bandwidth. But a big file download, honestly, it's not that fussy. If a piece of data gets lost, it just asks for it again. It doesn't mind waiting a bit. It is the slow cargo truck of the internet. It'll get there eventually. It just doesn't need to be in the fast lane. All right, so we know why we need to prioritize, but how does your router, that little blinking box in the corner of your room, actually do it? How does it turn into a smart traffic cop? Well, it's actually a pretty clever three-step process. First, your router basically acts like a bouncer. It looks at the data coming through and classifies it. It says, aha, you're a Skype call, you get a VIP tag. That's called marking. Second, it uses those tags to sort everything into different lines, or queues. A high-priority queue for the VIP Skype call, and a low-priority one for that big download. And finally, if the network starts getting too crowded, it smartly tells the low-priority data to wait a second, which prevents a jam before it even starts. And the result of all this? It's simple, but it's powerful. Your important traffic, your ambulance, gets to skip the line completely. It never has to wait behind the less important stuff, which means your call, your game, or your stream just works. Now, this all might sound like something for big corporate networks, but here's where it gets really good. This isn't just theory. You can use these exact same ideas right in your own home on your own network. So, the big question is, can you actually do this? Can you take control of your internet and put an end to that spinning wheel of death for good? The answer is absolutely yes. The good news is most home routers already have these settings built right in. You just have to log into your router settings page and look for a tab called QoS, or maybe Traffic Manager or Prioritization. A lot of them make it super easy. You can literally just drag and drop your work computer or your PlayStation into a high priority box. And just like that, you've told your router, hey, whatever this device is doing, make it the most important thing on the network. So, what's the bottom line here? It's that you don't have to just sit there and suffer through bad internet. By understanding and using QoS, you can go from being just another driver stuck in the traffic jam to being the traffic manager for your entire network, making sure the things that matter most to you always get the green light. The only question left is, what are you going to prioritize first?